Hey friends, welcome back. My name is Tammy and this is my channel, Lemma's Creations DIY. Let's start crafting. Hello friends. So I was contacted by a gentleman who had asked me to do a review on one of his glue guns. So the gentleman that I was contacted by, he has the Monvict hot glue guns. So he sent me one of these. Let's see what it looks like. So it's a smaller one than what I'm normally used to using, but like if you see this one, it's got a fairly big end on it, and it takes the bigger rounder glue sticks. It does have a high and a low, but I find for any of the detailed work that I need to do, this here is really, really big. And by looking at this one, it's got a smaller tip. So when I have all that detailed work to do, this will be handy. It has an on-off button and a little light here to let you know if it's on or off, which I like because mine doesn't have that. I can never tell if it's on or if it's off. I always have to kind of touch it to see if it's hot. So I like that. It also comes with its own little stand. If you remember at the beginning of my YouTube career, I had made myself a stand for my glue gun because the little thing that comes with it doesn't work well at all. This one has been very, very well used and does work for this, but I like that this one comes with its own stand. Now let's see if we can put it together. I believe by the looks on the picture, there's probably instructions in there. I'm not very good at reading instructions. I look and see. So this here gets pushed into this. Well, that snaps in pretty easy. It also has its own little stand here, which I probably will never use, but by the looks of it, that goes here. Because if it's on this stand, you kind of don't need that, right? Let's get that on there. This is my first time looking at it and putting it together. I just got to get my fingers working. There we go. So that comes with a little stand, which I'm sure would be handy as well. But if it's got this, and that doesn't fit in there like that. So to use this, I'm assuming this has to be off. And by the looks of the picture, that's right. So give me a second and I'll take this off without breaking it. There we go. So then it pushes down into there like that. Oh, it's got little suction feet too, which stick really, really well. That was stuck to my board pretty good. But it's got little suction feet on the bottom, which is awesome because then it's not going to move around on you, right? It also comes with, which I thought was pretty neat, got a whole bunch of these colorful glue sticks. Now these are the smaller ones, which makes sense because it's a more detailed gun. I will have the gun that I was sent linked in my description box, and I also went and found glue sticks, which this kit also came with all together. I also found glue sticks that are like this that will fit this gun, and I'll link those as well in case anybody needs glue sticks that are this size. But I thought these colorful ones were pretty neat. I'm not sure what I could use them for, but for Christmas I could see using the red and the gold. When making ornaments or whatever, you could put little dots or drips. That's pretty cool. So yeah, so my next thing is to use this in a craft, which will be coming up next. Let's see how it works. So for this first craft, I am using these little tiny wreaths that I got from BeeBeeCrafts. If you remember, they sent me some stuff. And I pulled out some little leaves and whatnot out of my stash, just some leftovers. And I'm going to use this Monvict glue gun. First, just pulling off some jute twine or jute rope. I'm going to tie a little tie on each one, just looping it around, putting a little tie on the top, and those will be to hang them. Next, what I do is I just start going through my stuff and deciding on what I want to put on each of the wreaths. Starting with the bigger one, I go with some 2 little red leaves, and I use my glue gun just to glue them into place. This here is a super easy project to do, just using a few little things from my craft stash and little tiny wreaths, and you can make cute little fall wreaths to hang in your window or to hang on your doors, or just cute little things. Taking 2, placing them together in the middle there, again using that glue gun. I like that it has a small tip because then it doesn't spew out as much glue, especially on smaller projects like this. And I'm just using a silicone spatula I got from the kitchen out of my drawer. It works. And then taking a few of these little berries, I'm going to glue those right into the middle between those 2 leaves. Of course, adding a little more glue to make sure it holds into place. And then taking this super cute little ribbon, it's like a lace ribbon, I'm going to make a tiny little bow using some jute twine. I'm going to wrap it around the center, tie it off in the back, and then I'm going to add that to the little tiny wreath as well. Sometimes I wish I had smaller fingers, because sometimes making those little knots and ties and stuff, really hard to do with big fingers. But I get it. I get it tied. Clipping off those extra ends. And going to glue it right to the top there. And I'm just going to take you through the other 2. As you're watching that, I will talk. So if you notice, every time I go to lift that gun, it's hard to lift off. That's one of the things I've noticed. Even though it's on a surface that it should be sticking to, it'll stick, but then it unsticks. It's a little bit of annoyance, because when you're holding something, you want to be able to grab the glue gun to glue it into place instead of having to remove your 2 hands to grab the one glue gun off. But it works. It's good that it's a smaller tip. That part I like. If you're new to my channel, I'd like to say welcome. So happy you are here. If you could, please hit that subscribe button, like this video, and don't forget that notification bell. Every time you like a video of mine, it not only helps my channel out, but it helps for this video to be out there into the YouTube algorithm for other crafters to see. I truly, truly appreciate it. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I am so happy you're here. And there's the 3. And here I'm showing you the glue does leak, but so does my other one. And it's super hard to pull out. I'm just showing you here that it's hard to pull out with just one hand. You have to almost use 2. And here are the 3 wreaths hanging in my window. And then I show you each individually. It was hard to take this picture because it was super sunny out, so everything was really dark when I took a picture, and to not try and have my car in the picture. On to the second craft. So I picked up these 3 pumpkins at Dollarama. They were $1.25 each. And first what I do is I take all the stickers off and I scrape all that nasty glitter. Holy glitter, this stuff was glittery. I had it everywhere. Then taking those pumpkins and some scrapbooking paper, I traced them out onto the paper and cut those out. Taking some Mod Podge, I'm going to put a nice layer of Mod Podge on top of the pumpkin where all that glitter was. And I'm going to glue that scrapbooking paper on top of there with the Mod Podge. I probably didn't have to scrape off the glitter, but that stuff gets everywhere if you don't take it off. Now, using my little crafter knife, I'm going to score along the side just to get any of that extra paper off. I do that to all 3. Taking this sheepskin colored, I think it's folk art paint. It's a chalk paint. I'm going to give 2 of the pumpkins 2 coats and just one of them 1 coat. And that's only because halfway through this, when I was going to do the second coat, I changed my mind. And this is where I changed my mind. I'm going to take this one pumpkin and I'm going to trace it out onto this fabric, which is just pajama pants, and cut it out. And then taking my hot glue, we're going to glue it right onto that pumpkin. I didn't necessarily have to paint that pumpkin, but because my original plan was a different thing, I did. But then I changed my mind when I remembered I had that. Taking some brown and orange, mixing it together, I'm going to define my pumpkin. First, just marking on the orange and giving it its lines. And then I'm going to smudge it out, taking some blue and black. I'm going to add some of that in there. And then I just keep on going. If I find I added too much, I add in some more of the sheepskin color, and then I continue with the orange and add in some more blue. And what I'm trying to do is I'm pulling the colors out of the fabric so that they all kind of cohesively match. That's quite the word, cohesively match. Does it even make sense? Yeah, sure. Makes sense in my mind. And I just continue, and then the other pumpkin, I do it the opposite way. I start with the dark blue, and then I do the highlighting with the orange, just to give it a little bit of a difference. The blue I had wasn't dark enough, so I added black to it just to darken it up a bit. And the orange was too bright, so I added brown to take it down. Now, I bought this thankful sign. I think it was at Walmart. It wasn't very expensive. I think it was $1. And I'm going to paint the entire thing brown, all around the edges and all on front. Takes a little time painting that, but I kind of enjoy it. It's peaceful. Then using my pencil, I drew on the words grateful on one and blessed on another. And then I got this. It's a furniture repair marker from Dollarama. I'm just going to trace over it with this. Taking an orange paint pen, I'm going to put little like stitch lines all around the word thankful just to make it pop out a little more. Then I'm going to glue on the thankful sign. And then using this orange rope, I'm going to wrap it around the stem. All right, so 2 things about this glue gun that I'm using in regards to my review. I don't like this stand really. When you're holding something, you want to be able to, say you're holding it and you want to glue here, you want to be able to pull your glue gun out and use it. Well, half the time it doesn't come out unless it's really, really sticking, but sometimes it doesn't stick. Those little pads, they don't stick, so it's hard to pull your glue gun out. The second one is, I don't know if you just noticed there, I held the glue gun. Well, it drips. After you've pushed it and used it, it continues dripping. And it didn't hurt. It wasn't a bad burn, but I just burned my finger because some hot glue fell on it because it automatically drips out. It continues to go. I'm not talking about these drips here. My other glue gun does that. It has all these drips on the bottom too. That's not anything. I think all glue guns have a little bit of a dripping. It's a liquid glue. Of course it's going to drip out. But after you've used it, for instance, I'll use it here, it continues to drip. You can see it's still coming out. I don't know if you can see that, but it's still coming out. I touch it, but it's hot. That's another downfall to it. Other than that, I mean, I like how detailed. It's a smaller head, so I don't have to use my big glue gun, which pours out a ton, which isn't a bad thing either, because then I can wrap more than once. But when you're doing small detailed work, it's harder to use when there's a whole bunch of glue coming out. But so far, that's my review on that. Other than that, it's a good gun. I will have the description of it or the link to it on Amazon to it if you want to go and check it out. Other than that, I mean, it's still kind of dripping, but that's normal. My other one's not dripping yet, but it will eventually. But that's my review on it. Thanks, everyone. Now that that's done, we're going to glue all 3 pumpkins together. I just use my pencil to draw out where I want to put the glue so I don't overglue, and then I glue them all together. Taking that same furniture repair marker, I'm going to color in all along the sides and the edge there. I suggest doing that before you glue them together, a lot easier. Taking my bow maker, I'm going to make a bow. I believe they're 4-inch loops. Tying them together with some jute rope. Dovetailing my ends. And we're going to glue it up into that corner there to hide that one hole. And then taking this floral pick, we're going to glue that onto the other side. Put some rope on the back. And there it is. All finished. I love it. It's very colorful and goes with the theme of my colors for fall, which are always usually oranges and browns and yellows because those are the colors I like. It's really pretty. It's hanging outside. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Please, if you could, subscribe, like this video, and don't forget that bell. You can follow me on Instagram. Have a nice day.